Welcome to the last day of the challenge. Congratulations if you're here.
Yes.
If you're doing these out of order, then congratulations on doing class today.
Yep.
So it's a Yin Yoga class. Yin Yoga, slower pace. We're going to hold poses for a little bit longer, up to 5 minutes sometimes, but usually anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. And yeah.
Have a good class.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to start sitting, actually.
Oh.
Not lying down. We're starting an easy pose. So you can sit however is comfortable for you. Use cross-legged. If you wanted to do half lotus with one foot on top, you could do that. Just comfortably sitting. And then arms wherever you like them. You could have your hands on your knees, on your lap, at your side, right? Whatever works for you. Sit up tall. Relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes here and breathe through your nose. Notice your breath. Without judging or changing it, just notice if it's shallow or deep. Maybe your inhale is longer than the exhale, or vice versa. Have a little pause when you're full lungs or when you're at the bottom of your breath, between inhale and exhale. We're going to do some slow neck rolls. So sitting up just like you are, lower your chin towards your chest, and just keep breathing as you are. Let your head be heavy. And now very slowly start to roll your head towards the left side. The key here is just not to rush, but there is not a prescribed pace. It's just a slow neck roll. So slow for you. And now stop your neck roll and just start to go back the other way. Same thing, opposite direction. Still chest up, sitting nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. Bring your head back to center. No rush. Chest up. Head up. And take one nice deep breath here. into the next pose now, which is a wind removing pose. So lie down. And then draw both knees up in towards your chest. You can reach around and grab your hands or wrists, or maybe you just grab each leg below the knee. Whatever you've got, or interlock fingers, or whatever works. You want to relax everything but your grip. Relax your head down to the floor. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips. And then just breathe here. So all class, we're going to breathe through the nose, in through your nose, out through your nose. And this wind removing pose is similar to what we do in yoga class, but we're not trying to really squeeze the belly as much. It's more about feeling a release in your lower back, in the shoulders, just that release for your spine. And now keep hold of the right leg, but bring your left leg out straight down to the floor. We're going to do a reclined twist. So you can use your left foot on the floor to help scoot your hips to the right. Or you can keep them in center. Left leg extends back down. And now bring your right knee and right leg across your body to the left side. You might want to get a prop ready, or two, or whatever you need. If you need to prop the knee up, but you want the knee all the way over to that left side. Arms can be down by your side. You can also take your left hand and rest it on your right knee. Just breathe here. So with Yin Yoga, each pose, you're moving your body into this shape, this form. And you're going to use strength to get there, but once you're there, you want to relax. The goal is to relax everything you can. So notice if your right leg or hip is using any muscles there to keep the right leg across. Try to relax them. Relax your left leg and hip. If you want to add intensity to your twist, you can reach your right arm out to the right side, or you can make a cactus arm, so you bend your elbow 90 degrees, put the back of your hand on the floor. You can also turn your head to look to that right side. And if any of this, that can be big on the shoulders if you have tight shoulders. You might feel that in the right shoulder. You can stick a prop under your right shoulder, or just keep your arm by your side. So I'm going to find the spot that works for you, because we're going to stay here for about 2 more minutes. You can close your eyes in the pose. As we come into the last minute here, just keep your mind present. So you can focus on your breath. You can scan your body again, notice any tension, any muscles that re-engaged. Try to let them go, let them release. One more nice deep breath here. Now bring your head back to center. And take your time with the movements. Bring your right arm back down by your side. Use your left hand to help your right knee back across. Put the right foot down, scoot your hips back to center and both legs out. Just take a nice breath here. Now to work the other side, bring your left knee in towards your chest. You can bend your right leg some if you want. Scoot your hips to the left side this time. And then re-extend the right leg. Now you can use your right hand and gently help your left knee across your body. Same thing. Have your props. Bring your props over there if you need. And then breathe. And same thing, arms can be by your side to start here. Right hand can be on top of the left knee or just resting down. Here too, if you want to add intensity, you can stretch your left arm out to the side. Make the cactus arm. And then you can always turn your head to the left. Again, once you find your spot where you meet some resistance, relax. Notice where you feel this. You may feel it in your left hip, the low back, or mid back, or upper back. You may feel it in the left shoulder. Feel that twist in the neck too if you're looking left. If you've gotten somewhere where it's too intense, you can always back off some. About one more minute. If your mind wandered off, bring it back. Focusing on your breath is a great way to bring your mind back and reconnect with what's going on in your body. To release here, bring your head back to center first. And bring your left arm back down towards your side. And now gently use your right hand. You can also use your left hand to help it. Bring the left leg back across your body. Scoot hips back to center. And both legs out, arms down, relax. We're going to come up to a seated position. So just take your time. Get yourself up to sitting, however is most comfortable for you. Next pose is caterpillar. So extend your legs in front of you. They can be about hip width. You can do feet together if you like, whichever works. Make sure you're on your sits bones here, so not on the tailbone. If you feel pressure on your tailbone, you can always lift up a little bit and drag your hips back and sit back down. That'll usually get you off of it. And now with your legs extended, hands by your side, and start to walk your hands forward. And now this one, not like yoga stretching that we do in our 26 and 2 class. Keep the legs relaxed. And if this gets too intense on the hamstrings, you can bend your knees a little bit. And let your head drop. And now, when you get to that point of your first point of resistance, that's where you stay. And that's where you stop first. Wherever it is. And now, to help you relax, you can bring some props in. You might prop your head up. You might put a prop under your body here. Whatever is going to help you stay here. And help you relax into this. Try to let your neck relax too, let your head be heavy. That initial resistance that you met has gone away, you can try to move a little further. If you're still feeling the resistance here, just stay. Might feel it in the backs of the legs or your hips, lower back. We've got about one more minute. breaths here. Use your hands to gently walk back and lift your body up. Use the arms to come back up. Okay, keep props handy. We're going to go into a squat now. So from here, you just bend your knees, bring your feet in closer to your bum. And you might bring the heels out wider than your hips. Toes can point forward or a little bit out, whatever is comfortable for you. And now use your hands to lift yourself up. And come forward onto the feet. If your heels are off the floor, you want to throw a little folded up towel or blanket under there for support. And so it's nice to have the props within the arm's reach for this. And now you can have arms in front of you. You can do that kind of prayer position if you like. Whatever feels good. This one, just like other poses, the reason to use props is so that you can find some relaxation there. In class, you are looking to relax. Whereas the opposite, Yang, is more like our 26 and 2 hot yoga style class. You're using your muscles to create stretching. Here we're just trying to use our body position and gravity really to create stretches. When you're doing that, when you're just relying on gravity and the shape of your body, big factor is time. That's how you're going to measure progress in Yin class. It's more about how long you can stay in a pose. And you will see changes in the depth too of the poses you can do. Really, that the main measure is time. And one more nice deep breath here. Using your hands in front of you, I'm going to try to lean forward some, get your hands on the ground. So it's okay if you're coming up higher on the toes for a second here. We're going to move into a dangle. So start to lift your hips up, and you can bring your feet in closer. Think more hip width distance now for your feet. And toes, or feet going forward. And from here you can straighten your legs a bit. Not all the way, so you want a slight bend in the knees, even if you have the flexibility to get them all the way straight. And let your body hang down. So this is dangle, your body is dangling. Your body draped against the thighs, head hanging heavy. This one, please do keep your eyes open. If it's If you're really tight in the hamstrings, you can bend your knees even more. This is a great release for the lower back, for your neck. You can have your hands just hanging out on the floor, resting there. You can grab your elbows with your hands, which can add some more stretch to the shoulders. Or if you're pretty far down, you can also bring your hands back behind you, right? Reach them out behind your heels, backs of the tops of the hands on the floor. Find a spot that works for you. We've got about another minute. To release from this, put your hands back on the floor. You can get some weight into the hands, bend your knees a little bit more. Open your feet up. We're coming back down to squat. Just take your time here. So heels open up a little bit wider than your hips. Toes can point out or straight forward, and then gently lower your hips down. Coming back to that squat. So same thing, if your heels are off the mat, no worries. Just slide your towel or blanket or whatever underneath your heels. If you really cannot relax here too, I know I didn't mention it in the first round, but you can always slide some flat-sided prop underneath your bottom. We're not staying here as long this time, just a little bit. And maybe you notice if your lower back or hips feel different now in this squat after we did our dangle. Just a couple breaths. So similar to our release before, try to lean forward if you can. Come up on the toes, no worries. Lean into the hands, bring your knees down. You're going to go into tabletop position. So knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. I'm going to do a few cat-cow reps. Right, so from tabletop, cow, inhale, look up. Drop your belly down. Tailbone points up. Now exhale, tuck your tailbone, lift your spine towards the ceiling, drop your head. Shoulder blades separate. Inhale, heading back to cow, belly dropping, look up. Just don't drop your chest here, right? You're still pressing against the floor of the arms. Shoulders down from your ears. Exhale, stomach in, arch your back. Inhale, drop your belly, looking up. Exhale, stomach in, start to arch your spine, drop your head. Inhale, drop your belly, start to look up, last round of each. Just trying to move your spine and hips, getting them ready for the next poses coming. And exhale, arch your spine, drop your head. Come back to tabletop. All right, from here we're going to move into puppy. So starting in tabletop, I'm going to bring your hands forward, trying to keep your hips over the knees. Walk your hands forward and bring your chest towards the floor. Chin forward, so your chin will touch the mat. If this is too much on your neck, you can always tuck your chin down. Mouth on the mat. If it's too intense either way, you can also put a prop underneath your chin. We're getting into some back bends here, some spine work. Including this. So this one is called puppy. It's also called melting heart because you're kind of dropping your heart towards the floor. Notice where you feel this. You might feel it in the neck, your cervical spine, or you might feel it between the shoulder blades, even a little below the shoulder blades. Again, if it's too intense, prop under your head. Working on relaxing now. About a minute left. And make sure you're breathing. And if you have tightness in the shoulders, this can be particularly challenging. Just remember, you're doing your best. To come out of this, use your arms, press them against the floor to start to lift your chest up. You can even slide forward onto the arms a little bit once you have them down. And then walk your hands back. And you're coming back up towards tabletop. Alright, and now lower yourself down to the ground, onto your belly. Next is Sphinx. So Sphinx, you want to bring your elbows under your shoulders, parallel forearms. To lift your chest up. Your legs are just behind you. Now, if this already feels intense on the lower back, you can open your legs up wider. You can also walk your forearms forward to bring your chest down some. You can walk them forward a ton if you need to, right? Whatever you need to do to find a spot where you feel this in the lower back. And you're getting a backward bend there. Relax your belly, relax your butt and your legs. And if you wanted a little more intensity, you could pull your arms against the floor, like you want to pull your elbows towards your hips to drag your upper body forward a little more, even though your hips are going to stay in their spot. We're going to be in this one for 5 minutes total. We're more than a minute in. Again, if you need to adjust so that you can stay here longer, please do. About 2 minutes left. Just notice your breathing. If you're holding your breath at all, please don't. If you're in a position where it's hard to breathe, that's another sign to adjust. The last minute now, if you wanted more intensity, you could always come up to seal. You would basically press your hands into the floor to lift your elbows up, to lift your upper body up. You might squeeze your butt a little bit coming up, but then try to relax the butt again. You can always stay in Sphinx. Again, this is all individual choice. you're up in seal, just lower back down to Sphinx onto the forearms. And then from Sphinx, just gently lower your body to the floor. Take your time. We're going to do a little savasana on the belly. You can look to either side. And relax. Do another nice relaxing one, child's pose next. So bring your hands back in towards your shoulders to press yourself up. We're going to press back into child's pose. You can keep your knees close together or open them up, whichever works for you. And then drop your head down, your body down. Head to the floor. You can always throw something underneath your head here too, a little prop. Hips relaxed. Your back relaxes. Just a few more breaths here. Use your arms. Take your time, but push yourself up. Out of child's pose, we're going to come back to tabletop. No rush. Back to where your wrists are under your shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to do some pigeon. Our last hip opener of the day. Bring your left knee up towards the outside edge of your left wrist. And then scoot your left foot forward. Slide your right leg back. So the more open you are in your hips, the more you'll be able to bring that left shin forward and be parallel until it's parallel to the front edge of your mat. If you've got anything going on with your left knee here, you might have to keep your heel back in close to your hips. And now stay up tall on the hands, chest up. If you feel like you cannot relax in the hips here, throw a prop underneath your left hip and breathe. So especially here staying up tall, you might feel it in the right hip, the front of the right hip, your hip flexor is stretching. We've got an external rotation on the left hip. You might feel it in the glutes. If you want to add some intensity to this, and start to come down to the forearms. Lower your body down, your head down, and now you can prop your head up on your hands or go all the way to the floor. Really, whatever works for you. And if you need to adjust, even if you want to adjust your left leg, you can come up some and scoot the left foot forward more and come back down. So we've got about 2 more minutes here. Another minute. Keep breathing through your nose. Gently lift your head up, press back up onto your forearms, and then coming back up onto the hands. No rush here. Tuck your right toes under, lift your hips up even, and bring your left foot back by the right foot for a downward facing dog. Pedal your knees, your feet to move your hips. Hopefully it feels a little nice after your hips were sitting still for so long. Alright, and now bend both knees a little bit. Press your chest towards your thighs. And gently try to straighten your legs best you can. It's okay if your heels are off the floor. Feel the stretch in the backs of the legs. Alright, and then bend your knees. Bring them down to the floor. We're coming back down to tabletop. Alright, so pigeon for the other side. You're going to bring your right knee up to the outside edge of your right wrist. Scoot your right foot forward where you can. Slide your left leg back. And again, stand up tall on your hands. Chest up. You can tuck a prop under the hip. If you need to, under your right hip, breathe. You can look up to the ceiling here. Whatever feels good. It's So this one, not fully yin right now, right? We're using our arms for support and shoulders. Using strength to keep our head up too. Our head's up. Notice how each hip feels while you're up here. If you're really enjoying this spot, you can stay, or if you want to turn up the intensity for your right hip now, you can start to come down to your forearms. No rush coming in either. And then lower your body and head down towards the floor. And again, use your hands to prop your head up. And breathe. There can be a tendency to carry stress or tension in the hips and low back. And especially if that's something that's been going on for a while, that's where you hold tension. It takes a bit of time to get through there. Sometimes people talk about Yin Yoga because it's not super active. You're not really building as much as you're removing things that you don't need. Like that tightness from stress. About 30 seconds left. Slowly lift your head. Coming back up onto your hands. Bring the left toes underneath, tuck them under, even slide the left leg forward a little bit. That helps you lift your hips. And now bring your right leg back into downward dog. Again, pedal your knees. Get some movement first. Now bend both knees some. Press your chest towards your thighs. And gently drop your heels towards the floor. Try to straighten your legs. Breathe. Alright, bend both knees, coming back down onto the mat. Alright, and come onto your back. Our last couple poses of class. Lying on your back, arms down, legs down. First is banana pose, which our bird is happy about.
Piggy
Right.
says no.
So bring your feet over towards the left side of your mat. Just walk them over and then bring your left ankle over the right. So cross at the ankles, cross the legs, left on top. Arms up. You can gently grab your right wrist with the left hand and scoot your shoulders over to the left side. So we're creating a half moon shape here. And once you get to a spot where you feel a stretch on the right side of your body, then you're going to start to try to relax. You can let the elbows bend. So your right shoulder and right hip should stay on the floor. If they've popped up, you might want to back off a little bit. And sometimes here, as you relax, right, your arms might slide back towards center. So you can always re-engage some muscles to get them towards the left side again. Maybe you go a little further first and then relax. And again, notice what you're feeling on the right side, where you feel it. Doesn't have to be the most intense stretch. You want to feel some stretch somewhere on that right side. Now, one more minute. Release the grip on your right wrist. Scoot your shoulders back to center. No rush coming back. Take your time here. Uncross your legs. Walk your feet back to center and just relax. Arms down and legs down. To the left side. So walking your feet to the right. You're going to stretch the left side, your left side. Walking your feet over to the right corner of your mat, or even further if you need. Bring the right leg over the left, cross at the ankles, arms over your head. You can grab your left wrist with your right hand, gentle. Even that is not like a super tight grip. Walk your shoulders to the right side. Again, find your spot. And then relax. Left hip, left shoulder on the floor. Now to stretch through your left side. Even though you're grabbing the left wrist, you have a grip there. And relax your right shoulder. Other than that grip, try to relax. Relax your left shoulder. I find even when I relax my shoulders, after a couple breaths, if I go back and look, notice what's going on, they're back to working. And sometimes parts of your body are going to resist relaxing. And it's just going to take practice. Again, undoing that learned behavior, that learned, oh, we should contract behavior that the muscles might have. About 1 minute left here. So release your left wrist. Slowly bring your shoulders back to center, your head back to center, arms down side. Uncross your legs and walk your feet back until your legs are in the center too. Now we're going to start the final pose, corpse pose savasana. If you'd like a blanket to cover yourself or a pillow, go for it. Oh, let's get it this way.
Oh, thanks. You don't want one?
That's okay. Now find a spot where you can be comfy and you can relax. If you've had your eyes open, close them now. Nice, easy breath through your nose. You don't have to work to make it deeper. or longer. Just breathe. Just going to step through different parts of your body. And as we get to each part, just think about relaxing that area. Relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your lower legs. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your abdomen. Relax your chest. Relax your lower back. Relax your middle back. Relax your upper back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arms. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax your wrists. Relax your hands. Relax your fingers. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your brow. Relax. Stay here as long as you can. When you are ready to move out of your Savasana, take your time. Start small. You might wiggle your toes and fingers first before bigger movements. Thanks for showing up today. See you again soon. Namaste.